After a lengthy transfer saga, and speculation in the European press, Mbappe has decided to sign a new contract with Paris Saint-Germain, and that contract will keep him at the club until next year. 2025. Real Madrid also offered him a contract, but the Frenchman chose the Ligue 1 champions. The Spanish champions will now turn their attention to the Champions League final against Liverpool on May 28 at the Stade de France. In an interview with Marca before the match, Modric said of Mbappe's decision, "We don't know anything. There are no expectations here. We have talked about Mbappe a lot, specifically in more than a year, but we don't know anything, whether it will happen or not, and that's why we have to pack this topic, and not talk about it anymore." Champions League final, that's the most important thing. Of course, the journey to convince the French star to sign a new contract with Paris Saint-Germain was not easy at all. The leadership of the Parc des Princes Stadium probably did everything possible to keep the child of the magnificent Paris capital, despite the attractive offer from Real Madrid. What is the story behind this contract really? Let's find out together right here. During the transfer season, it is not difficult to realize how much interest and desire Real Madrid have for Mbappe. President Florentino Perez of the Spanish royal team has never had to hide his intention to bring the Paris Saint-Germain superstar back to become a new piece in his empire. The French superstar himself has never shown the desire to refuse the Santiago Bernabéu team, during the time he is the focus of this story. But after all the moves, this guy still decided to sign a contract with a term of up to 2025 with the rich guy in France last weekend. At this point, there are probably many questions from Real Madrid fans. What made Mbappe change his mind so quickly, in such a short period of time? Before answering this question, let's take a look at how important this player's role is at PSG, to the Parc des Princes and to the French fans. It is not Messi or Neymar, but this player is the one who led Paris Saint-Germain to the top of Europe, although still not quite successful in the journey to raise the Parc des Princes team, but impressive. Of this player here over the years is huge. Perhaps in the planning of the PSG leadership, Mbappe is the most important and indispensable factor of this team, in the journey to hunt for European titles, as well as raise the level of this club. Not only that, Mbappe has now become an idol of French fans, an ideal model for young players in this wine country. He is a character loved by all French people and hopes to lead the future generation of the country's football to glory. With Mbappe's presence, there is a magnet that attracts all of Europe's attention to a tournament that is not as noticeable as Ligue 1. Now he is not only a football player, but has become an inspiration, a big name representing the young generation who always try their best, full of enthusiasm to accomplish their goals. A perfect model to promote the spirit and development of the young generation here. That is probably also the reason why French President Emmanuel Macron personally called Mbappe, expressing his wish, hoping that he would stay with Paris Saint-Germain. Think about it, if you were in this situation, what would you do when the head of state, the head of your country, directly called and gave advice? Yes, we talked, that's good advice from him. When you are a national figure you have your own rights and obligations. I mentioned my choice to him, and he was very happy and thought it was good news for the whole country. It was Mbappe's share that showed how the French president had an influence on the star's final decision. As a French citizen, this star understands the importance of himself at this time in the Parc of the Princes and the football scene here. Not only the president but also the relatives, and lawyers of this star also share a very perhaps Paris Saint-Germain himself understands that this is a difficult negotiation process, because there is no guarantee that Mbappe will choose to stay with France. Sources have revealed that Real Madrid has been closely following the talent of France since he was 11 years old. Thus, it can be understood that Real has closely followed the development of the French star during the past 11 years. The Spanish royal team has always shown its curiosity and seriousness in this deal and is always ready to withdraw its wallet to make a difference for Real Madrid. There have even been 4 times this club tried to promote this deal, in the years 2011 to 2016, 2017 to 2021. The final decision still belongs to Mbappe, no one else can intervene. But Paris Saint-Germain's efforts have finally come to an end since the end of February and have been rewarded with the signature of this number 7 star. When 2 contracts were placed on the table, the French superstar chose his hometown. More importantly, he felt extremely comfortable and thought that this was a completely reasonable decision. As for Paris Saint-Germain, let's see what tactics they have come up with to keep this star. Right before Mbappe signed the contract, there were some sources that revealed that Paris Saint-Germain had offered some special benefits that only Mbappe has. The special thing is that Mbappe has been given the right to choose the right coach for Paris Saint-Germain, along with the right to choose the sporting director and new players in accordance with the team's philosophy. Just kidding, Mbappe became a full-time player and a pastime CEO of the team. Perhaps in the history of modern football, no player has ever had the privileges of Paris Saint-Germain for Mbappe. Mbappe is given all rights and conditions to become the face, heart and soul of this team. Mbappe's influence made an immediate difference. The French star no longer wants to work with technical director Leonardo. Just hours after the decision to renew was announced, the technical director of Paris Saint-Germain had been fired. Mbappe wants to work with a name that is no stranger to French football, that is Luis Campos. Both worked together at Monaco. Mbappe understands that he can support the development of young talents. Like you. In addition to the leadership position of the team, Mbappe's influence is also reflected in the selection of personnel for PSG. The French star wants to create balance for the French capital team. Which names will be on PSG's radar? That will be a long story during a tumultuous transfer season. The right strategies were devised by Paris Saint-Germain. So how did Real Madrid go wrong in the plan to recruit this star? Although Mbappe is always at the top of the recruitment list, it seems that Real Madrid's plan is not convincing enough for this superstar. Offers a salary unprecedented in history, along with the provision to determine his own image. Mbappe is also placed at the forefront of the future plans of the Spanish royal team. A position that the current veterans also do not have. Real Madrid's offers for this important player are clearly not as appealing as those of Paris Saint-Germain. Perhaps this royal club could not think of a plan to deal with this situation, a business in which they were very confident. Now they will have to face a mini shock, which will greatly affect the strategy and image of the team in the near future. In the end, only Mbappe is the one who understands best how right the decision this superstar has just made. Along with advice from family, who have the greatest influence. Mbappe decided to stick with Paris Saint-Germain, a decision that has elevated himself. Now he is not only a French football star, he is also an indispensable nucleus for the plan to hunt down the best players. The title of the biggest football team in the country. Important piece of advice. That is one of the important factors for this star to make his final decision. Even this guy's mother met the leader of the team to better understand what the club needed in her son and heard about the team's future plans. Thank you for watching. See you in the next videos. If you find it interesting, please like, share, follow and comment on requests. Goodbye, see you again.